Hey guys, what's going on? Fred London here. You guys know what to do, as always, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into today's video. So the first story, Chelsea encountered two problems arranging Timo Werner medical as transfer placed on hold. Now, as soon as you read that, as a Chelsea fan, you get a bit panicked. You think, oh my god, what is happening? The Timo Werner deal isn't happening. What? It's not that big of an issue. If we take a look, basically COVID-19 is causing problems. Obviously, the travel and stuff like that between countries is a problem at the moment, and it's causing issues for him to have his medical. So as it says here, Chelsea having two problems trying to carry out a medical. Raphael Honigstein claims that Werner cannot fly to England due to Bundesliga's COVID-19 regulations. Obviously, he can't come here and have his medical done, and also he's carrying out the season at Leipzig, so it'd be a little bit disrespectful to have him fly here, and then if they've got a game in a couple of days, he'd miss out on training and stuff. So he can't fly here because of COVID-19 regulations. We could fly doctors to Germany to complete all the formalities, but they would have to isolate upon return for 14 days, so we'd be losing out on those doctors for 2 weeks. And sure, it's possible that we do have the medical staff to do that. I'm not entirely sure on how many doctors we hire and stuff like that, but it could cause a problem. We've got to send someone in and they got to come back and isolate for 14 days. It's not an ideal situation. We do have the option of using a doctor from the German FA, but Honigstein adds that they are more likely to wait until the Bundesliga season is over, while there's every chance that the UK could have their restrictions eased. So basically, we could not see this deal sort of officially happen until the end of the Bundesliga is complete and all that is sort of done and dusted. So that does leave quite a while for us to be up in the air on whether we're going to get Timo Werner. Like, personally, I would really prefer the peace of mind of knowing it's all officially done and it's been announced and stuff, so that a club like Liverpool can't come in and try and snag him away from us, or a PSG or some other big club. They can't come in and try and steal him away from us. As it is, he has agreed to join us and apparently has rejected Man City and Liverpool's offers since he's agreed and given us his word. He has since then declined any sort of negotiations with them. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, I think he is an honourable man. I think he would hold his word. So I don't think we have to worry too much about him saying, Liverpool are now looking to cough up the fee. Maybe I'll go that way. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but there is a bit in the back of my mind that is always going to worry about that until this deal is officially announced on our social media, on the websites and stuff, and he has signed our contract. As of now, there's nothing official because he hasn't had his medical, which means Chelsea can't officially sign off on it. So it's a little bit of a dodgy situation, but realistically, it should all be fine. Then on to the next story. Chelsea are ready to offer €30 million for 24-year-old Blues' latest Premier League side, Keane. And apparently, the guy we're interested in is Gurkan Kakir. I don't know if it's like Sakir. I don't know how you pronounce it. Never heard of this guy before in my life. So I don't know too much about him. We'll take a look at his stats in a second, but apparently we are seriously interested in signing the Trabzonspor goalkeeper and are willing to offer up to €30 million for the 24-year-old. He's been linked with a move away from the Super League clubs throughout the season, with the likes of Liverpool, Leicester, Everton and Tottenham all linked with the player. Last month's claims were that Liverpool had made a €25 million offer, with other reports stating that Sevilla, Leicester and Tottenham are also in the frame for him. Chelsea have already been active after signing Hakim Ziyech. Signing a goalkeeper, especially for such a fee, will surely be a priority for Chelsea if Kepa leaves the club. Now, my take on the whole goalkeeper situation is I think we're going to stick with Kepa for a season. I've heard that our plans for a new goalkeeper have been put on hold. Obviously, there's a chance that Kepa does come back and be good. We've seen him have good moments, we've seen him have bad moments, I'd say most of this season. And I think, I do really think that Kepa can get back to that good moment consistently, but we'll see how it plays out. And I definitely think he's deserving of the end of this season and another season, which I think he will get. But after that, he could definitely be gone. And I think that's what the club are sort of planning on at the moment as well. But if we take a look here, this guy who scored pitch is 24 years old. He's fairly tall, not massive for a goalkeeper. In the Super League, he's made 25 appearances and has got 2 man of the match awards with a 6.89 average rating. So decent, nothing that's, you know, setting the world alight. He's not doing insane numbers, he's doing decent numbers. In the Europa League, he made 3 appearances with 6.4 rating, which is a little bit low. I would personally prefer to see it a little higher than that. As you can see, of course, he's a goalkeeper. His strengths are shot stopping in reflexes, saving close range shots and saving long shots, as well as his weaknesses are long passing, so not so good at distributing the ball realistically. You got a man of the match performance here and an 8.4 average rating, but then, you know, as of recent fixtures, a 6.5, 6.3, 6.7, 6.4, you know, they're not like top tiers. So to see us looking at spending around 30 million euros, I guess it means that we have aspirations that this guy might turn out to be a top guy, but personally I can't see it at the moment. Like I said in I think it was yesterday's video, I wasn't too sure on a player because I just don't know enough about them, and from the data it makes me think that maybe they're not worth a buy. But if you guys know more, feel free to comment down below and let me know, and let everyone else that's watching this video, because I'm sure a lot of people will not know about this guy and would like to know more information. So if you know anything, let us know. And then a little update for you guys on the Kai Havertz deal. And this is from CF Bayern. If you don't know about Christian Falk, he is, like I mentioned in another video, he is very reliable for German-based news, and in general quite reliable, but specifically German-based. And as you can see here, this quote from him: Chelsea are more concrete in the talks for Kai Havertz at the moment. Perhaps Chelsea are again faster than Man United, like in the case of Timo Werner. And that is just what I love to see. Chelsea are more in concrete, you know, discussions. That makes me think that it's like, you know, maybe it's not just surface level discussions of like, do you want to come to the club? Do you buy into the vision? It's more, you know, what would entice you? Is this the sort of wage you're looking for? These are kind of bonuses you're looking for. What's your aspirations? What do you want us to achieve? You know, you're in the little more nitty gritty of the talks. And then perhaps Chelsea are faster than Man United, like in the case of Timo Werner. I'd love to see that again, because as we've seen this transfer window that hasn't even started yet, Chelsea have been fast. With Hakim Ziyech, we got that done very early. We came out of there and we're just ready to just get a deal done off the get-go without like even the transfer market opening. Like, that is not very common. Timo Werner, as long as this deal goes ahead, we saw that there was a gap. You know, Liverpool was stalling. They're like, can we afford him? Are we sure about this? And then they're starting to think, you know what, maybe we can't afford him. They start backing away. Chelsea instantly get involved. And they're there, you know what, we'll pay the fee in full, we'll give you a good contract. Like, they just instantly offer like all the goods that you need to entice a player to the club. And of course, Frank Lampard is obviously selling the vision of the club, the 3-year plan of stabilise, compete and then win is essentially the 3-year plan. And he's selling that to them well, clearly, because he's getting players like Timo Werner involved, and he's enticing players like Kai Havertz, it seems, who is one of the best young talents in the world at the moment. And we know that Man United are after him. I'm not sure United are going to get any of their targets this summer at the rate they're going. They seem to be in for all these like top guys, but then there's someone else that seems to be ahead of them at every avenue. And I just think they're a less attractive proposition at the moment, and especially financially, I'm not sure they're able to compete. Like, they weren't able to just compete and say, you know what, we'll pay this fee in full for Timo Werner. They weren't able to do it then, and it looks like maybe we're faster again and we're able to say, no, we'll pay it in full. Let's go. We're ready to make this deal. So Man United looking a little shaky at the moment. I know a lot of their fans are pretty convinced that they're going to be getting Jadon Sancho. I don't think that's happening. I think he's staying at Dortmund this year now, especially given that Chelsea have pulled out. I do think that is what's going to happen. But very happy to see that we are in great talks for Kai Havertz, and this is trustworthy stuff. If you guys want to stay up to date, be sure to follow Christian Falk on Twitter, because he's generally pretty reliable. And another thing I want to mention, I don't know if you saw the on Instagram, Armando Broja, our sort of third striker, I guess at this point, maybe even fourth. We got Michy, Giroud, Tammy, and Broja. I think probably Broja's fourth on that list, probably could be ahead of Michy realistically. But he did an Instagram live and someone asked him, what do you think about the Timo Werner transfer? And he was like, yeah, I think he's a good player, and started, you know, going on a bit of a talk about it as if it's already happened. So I don't know if that's him just, you know, going along with what the media are saying, or if he knows some insider stuff and he's like, yeah, this deal's happened. Essentially, we've been told from inside, you know, the club. Maybe Frank's let him know or something, I don't know. So that is just another little bit that's a little bit interesting, basically solidifying these Timo Werner talks to be that essentially it's going to happen, and I think it will. But that is going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions you want me to answer at the end of these videos, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below, and I can get ahead and do that for you. But I'll catch you in the next one, guys. See ya.